Well, welcome back to another glamorous day in the life of Smallholding. So we've used this for the ducklings, and well, for many things actually, but the ducklings were the last ones in it, and that's the mess they've created. So today we've got a child-free day, so we're going to have a run around, do some jobs outside off the Smallholding to try and get some lambs and some pigs while we haven't got the kids with us. And if we do, it'll be a nice surprise when they get home. If we don't, because it's proven harder and harder to get pigs every year, and we've phoned around everyone we know and we can't get any traditional breeds anyway. We've got another ace up our sleeve if all that doesn't turn out. So we're going to get this dumped and get on the road and see if we can pick something up anyway. So we'll see how that goes.
It's supposed to be the driest, warmest day of the week, but unfortunately it's not very warm, but it is dry, so we'll take that at the moment. So as Stephen says, we're just getting prepared. Ideally we'll have this ready in case we do pick something up. The lambs could possibly go in there. This is just short term for today and for the next couple of weeks until the land's dried out a bit and we can start getting things outside. He's also going to look to build another pen that if we do get the weaners, the pigs, that we can put those in. As he says, it's proven really difficult to get hold of any this year, more so than in previous years. And although there are some becoming available later on in the year, or in a couple of weeks and months maybe, we are wanting to get hold of some while we've got this period of time where we're at home solid for a couple of weeks, just to make sure that everything settles in. If there's any problems, any escapees or anything like that, we're here for that happening. And then by the time we go back to the paid job, everything settles and we're in a good routine. So that's kind of why we're trying to pick some up now. We have had a couple of things that we thought we might have been getting for different reasons and through no fault of anybody's have fell through. Where we picked our old spots up from last year would have been perfect, but unfortunately their boar turned a bit aggressive and they ended up selling him, so they don't have any at the moment. They said, oh, we might have some in a few months' time. As I say, you know, it's just not working out for us right now. So we're going to have a drive about, get in touch with a couple of other people that we've used over the past. And as Stephen says, we do have a plan B, which we'll talk more about if we need to use that. But for now, we're just getting everything prepared in the barn with the cockerel in tow. Well, it's a couple of days later from when you saw us cleaning out the cage for the lambs. We spent all day running around meeting some lovely new people and seeing if anybody had pigs and lambs that day, and nobody had anything. But we've now just had a phone call to say a farmer has got some. He has had triplets, quite a few triplets, and obviously the mum struggles with triplets. So if we can go now, we can go and get some triplets. So we've just had the call. Let's go get them and then have a proper catch up with Stephen afterwards.
So like Tracy said, it's been 2 days now, so we didn't hear anything for 2 days, and then all of a sudden we've heard everything today. So it's been a bit hectic. I'll try and run through with just a few things that we've been getting on with. So last time you see me, I was tidying this out, and now it's already got its new residence. So this morning we got a phone call from a farmer. He had some triplet lambs. So we went this morning and we picked 2 up. Grace is just in the middle of a feed, and this is their first feed since we've had them. The farmer, when we were there, he did give them a little bit. So we picked up two little orphan girls, or 2 little triplets. What are they called? No, she's named April and Avery. We may get another one, we're not sure yet. We just have to wait to hear from the farmer. But we'll see for that. So they've been in here now for what, 2 or 3 hours. They seem to be settling in nice. I mean, this one is obviously a lot, maybe it's 2 days younger than this one because it's absolutely tiny, but they seem to be up and about pretty healthy. So we'll just keep an eye on them, see how they go. And while we were out, I got another phone call off our neighbour next door who knows a guy who has a unit that he was clearing out. So he has hired a skip, which is going to cost him £1,000 to fill up and get rid of. So he said, if you need anything or you want anything, so he doesn't have to put it in his skip, come and have a look. So being skip rats, and we'll use anything. So I went down this morning and picked up these. So this is our tack room where we just store all our rubbish, and well, it's useful stuff, but Tracy's look on her face behind the camera there is giving me death stares. It's useful stuff, but it's just absolute mess. So I mean, I went this morning and picked these up. I mean, he was throwing them out. So I've got to go back this afternoon with him as well to pick up a load of other stuff, pallets and composite board and all sorts. He's got there useful stuff that we could find useful, but he's just throwing it in the skip. So anyway, we need to get all this tidied up, finally have a good tidy round in here. Also, when we were picking them up, we had another phone call off a guy who might have some pigs for us. So hopefully we'll be going to get them tomorrow morning. So now we've got to make a pig pen for when we go and get them. So I'm going to get on with that while Tracy gets on with this, and then we'll show you what we knock together when it's all done.
Well, as you can sense from the way Stephen was talking just then, it's been a really busy and will continue to be a really busy day to get everything done. But that's one of the reasons we take these 2 weeks off at Easter, and also we do another couple of weeks later on in the summer, is to get all of these kind of things done in a short period of time, that should we have the luxury of not having to go to the paid job to earn our pennies, we would get these done over a period of time and weeks, and we wouldn't be in such a kind of a rush is the wrong phrase, but you get what I'm saying. It all happens in a really short time frame, and we like to get on top of everything before we then have to go back to the paid job. You never know. Let's purchase a lottery ticket before we finish our holidays, and that might be it. We might be able to do this without needing a paid job forever. But these guys are looking really, really at home now. This is one of the ponies' blankets we've just put in there. That's more for Grace to sit on because the straw was sticking to her too much. I don't know if you've ever, those type of, that material that absolutely everything sticks to. Typically, she wore that on the day when we were going to be in the straw a lot, but it doesn't matter. So anyway, she's using the pony blanket to sit on there, but these guys are absolutely at home, happy. We've got a heat lamp there. We said to the farmer who we got them off, should we bother with the heat lamp? And he said, no, not at all. They're not using one over there, and they were absolutely thriving, so we're not going to bother putting that on. And what Stephen was talking about in the tack room was actually the shelving unit that he's picked up from this guy that was having a complete clear out, and basically a free-for-all for whoever could come and pick it up. So I think he's going back as he said, but he just needs me to give him a quick hand carrying the large pallets that we've got, which are going to form the pig pen. So we've got those in the garden for a different reason at the moment, but at the same time we have got our hay guy is on his way to deliver some hay, straw and horse bedding.
Right, really pleased to say we've had another phone call to say, getting a lot of phone calls today, another phone call to say we can definitely get the pigs in the morning. So the large black weaners, I think they're 12 weeks old, so the bigger than what we normally get them 8 to 9 weeks, but these are 12 weeks because they're the only ones we could find, and they're about 45 minutes away, and we've got to be there in the morning before 8 o'clock. So it's early start in the morning to get to there. So I've just knocked this up. It's just a 12 foot by, I don't know, 4 foot there and about 8 foot over here. Because with them being 12 weeks, they won't be staying in here as long as we normally keep them in here. They'll be down in the field. So when we get them back tomorrow, we'll go down in the field, we'll check that pen. It's got a few bit of adjustments on it to sort that out. But we're pretty much ready for them now. We've got the water, we've got the straw in. And that's it, pretty much done for them. So let's go see what Tracy's been getting on with in the tack room.
Well, I think I'm about done in here. A bit of a change around. So these have worked out really, really well that Stephen picked up that he showed you earlier. So I've stacked everything on here that we don't use very often at the top. All of the horses' blankets, rugs, all of that kind of thing is in the middle. Well, not all of them. Some of them are in the stables still. And then the bottom is the stuff that we use a day to day that's easy to access. Because obviously there's a bit of a problem for me here with the top row there. Stephen can obviously get anything down that I need, or I can climb on the chair. We've got the other, one of the marketplace finds that we had a long time ago. This was another freebie that's just got all of the medical equipment in it by animal now. So we've got that kind of, it might not look obvious to other people, but for example, this is everything to do with the goats and the sheep. This is more horse related. This is for washing them, everything like that. So that's all good. And it's by moving this freezer that's in the middle with this rather bright pink hairnet on it, it's freed up access to get into this area here, which a long time ago Stephen made these out of pallets, no surprise there. And I think this is the side of a wardrobe, if I remember rightly. But the trouble was with the freezer up against the wall that's just to the left of the camera there, it blocked the access to part of these shelves here, but not only that, it provided a permanent runway for the rats and all of the other vermin to get through, and you could never, you know, if you saw one, you could never get to it. To the thing that we got today, this is what it comes to when you get excited as a smallholder. We've got new buckets with no holes in and handles that work. We still need a few more different types of buckets, but that's for another day. Another couple of things that we picked up, for those of you that have been around for a while, you might have known that one of our horses, our little pony, hasn't been very well. He needed a new hairnet, which is kind of it essentially slows them down from eating. The holes are smaller. So we got him in bright pink, because that's Stephen's favourite colour.
Right, so while we've been on with that, Chris has been on tidying all this is the goat pen out. We've also made a few adjustments in here. We had a hair rack before for the sheep, So all I've done is cut it in half. We put half at this side and half over this side, which is great, it's filling up, just because the goats still don't like eating together. Don't know why, but they just don't. So we've got one there, that keeps them separated from there. She's also put the water down here in front of a piece of railway sleep, because they kept knocking, it was on the sleeper to start with, but they kept knocking it off, so we've just wedged them behind it to see if that solution works. Also since then, we had a guy come and he dropped our hair and shavings off. So we picked up 15 bales of shavings, which is the same price as it's been for quite a while now. The hay, which is still the same price as it was, but the straw has doubled in price. It used to be £20 a bale, and now it's jumped up all of a sudden to £40 a bale, because apparently there's a shortage of it with all this bloody rain that we're having. So that's another thing we might have to think about, because that's like I say, it's doubled in price, so we might have to ship around, see if we can get it off cheaper. If not, it's another thing we'll just have to grin and bear it, I suppose, like everything else. But yeah, we're pretty much tidied out in here. Everything's coming together. All the animals will still be inside, like I say, because the water outside is just still sopping wet. All the land's still sopping. We've just collected the eggs. This is our 2 days worth of, we didn't collect them yesterday, this is just 2 days worth of our new hens, and they're prolific at the minute. So yeah, everything's going good, touch wood, it stays that way. Right, well, I've just got back from helping my neighbour for the second trip. So I'll just show you what spoils we've got, because there's another more and more trips to do. So I just picked a couple of these 8x4 plywood sheeting. They're like all 45 quid in B&Q. And then I'll come over here and show you what else we got. So what else we picked up was 6 12-foot lengths of this pallet stuff, what they were using for pallets, but it's made out of 2x4 timber. So I think there's 6 of them, and then there's another couple at the back there, which are made out of 3x3 posts, and then just this one here, which is just made out of all sorts. But I mean, it's made out of 3x2s, and once either we use them as that as fencing, or take them apart and use them as timber, there must be 200 quid worth of timber there, and there's the same again about 3 or 4 times. So we're going back tomorrow a couple of times, and the rest we're going to cut up for firewood for my neighbour. So we get all this good stuff, and he gets all the stuff that we cut up for firewood. So bonus. Right, we've just got back with even more new additions to the family. So let's get them out and get them in. You want to just keep one in there?
Hello, little fellas. Come on. Wait up. Come here. You're a noisy devil.
Oh.
I was terrified.
Well, there they are. So these are 12-week-old purebred large blacks. So we're going to leave and get them settled in there, get them some water, get them some food, and then we'll just let them settle in. And now the barn is full. We have no more room for anything else.
Quick, get the camera out just to show that there is sun. Look, shadows, there's sun is out. It's absolutely fantastic. Working here in the greenhouse, it was really nice temperature wise before the sun came out, but goodness me, it's so nice to feel that sun on your face there. It's fantastic to work in. It's fantastic to see, because this whole week, so it's Friday afternoon now, this whole week is literally rained. We've had 1 or 2 bits in between. I think we had one day where it didn't rain for a good period of the day, and we got quite a bit done. Can't remember what day that was off the top of my head now, but yeah, it's rained all week, and during the night, during the day, it's been really difficult to get a break from it. I forgot Rodney was in here with me then. I'll show you him in just a sec. I thought, who's breathing? I could hear him. Anyway, so today we went very first thing and got the pigs that obviously you saw Stephen introduce. So we are now full in terms of the livestock that we're going to be getting this year. We will be hatching more chickens and ducks, but we're not going to be going out and purchasing any more. That's not the plan. Sorry, that is the plan anyway. Was that a fraudulent slip? We'll see what the year brings. So the pigs are in the barn, which is just behind me there. That's one of the reasons I'm working in here, because so the lambs are in there, the new pigs are in there, and I'm just wanting to make sure that everybody's settled and calm. The lambs are due another feed shortly, so I'll show you that when we go in and get that done. But if I come out of the barn and that they think that I've gone, and everyone just sort of settles down into the routine as if we weren't here, and that's what I want to achieve. I've got the another 7 days off after this weekend, and I'll obviously be making sure that everybody is safe and into a good routine for when we're back into full-time into the paid job again, and obviously won't be on the small holding all day every day. There is a good chunk of the week that we are here due to hybrid working and things like that, but yeah, we need to make sure that when we're off site everybody is happy, safe, not going to escape, all those good things. So I'll go in and show you those just now, but I'm in the greenhouse. I've got tons of things that I'm potting on. We're like full steam ahead with the garden. Even though it's been raining, that doesn't mean that I can't get the indoor things done. So I've been potting on leeks, onions. I've made a few decisions around the onions, which I'll do a separate garden video purely dedicated to the gardening side of things, just for those people that are here just for the gardening. Things are coming on really, really well. In front of me now, I've got the leeks and onions, as I said. I've got the brassicas, pak choi, cauliflower and cabbages, things like that I had moved on to their new home. So prick them out from the little seedling trays, which look like this, into plant pots. They are doing really well as well, so just keeping an eye on everything like that. But it's just lovely to be able to take, you know, just a bit more of a slow pace to get these things done. And when it's a break in between, it's been raining really heavily only just half an hour ago, so just taking a minute just to appreciate the sun before we go back in and check the rest of the livestock that's in the barn. So one thing I will show you on this video, the peppers are finally getting potted on from the propagator there behind me, couldn't think of the name then, into slightly bigger pots. I'm in a huge dilemma about whether to try and get some in the back of the greenhouse. Originally I was going to use the greenhouse all for tomatoes and the polytunnel for peppers later in the season. I still might do that, I haven't made any decisions. So what I've decided to do is just to put them into bigger pots for now, so they can hopefully continue growing, and I'll put them in this homemade propagator that Stephen made, just to keep them warm during the nights. Even though the temperature is finally starting to increase, the nighttime temperatures are obviously still a lot lower, so just to keep the chill off them and just to prevent anything happening to them, they're going to be going in there overnight, and then it gives me a little bit more time to decide what to do, because I was also thinking about putting them in the new beds that we created out there, but obviously I've put a whole load of potatoes in there. Sorry if you can hear the bee, it's trying to find a way out. I have tried to show it, but it's insistent on coming back in the greenhouse, which is lovely to see, by the way. When I say sorry, I mean about the noise, not about the actual fact that there's a bee in here. Anyway, in those beds out there, we've got the potatoes and onions that I've already put in. So I was going to put some peppers in those beds as well, and then create kind of a mini greenhouse there. Again, I'm still not too sure what I'm going to do, because we haven't yet decided on the area where those ducklings are, which you can't really see. You know, the new area that we put in. If you've seen any of our previous videos, we're going to do some other small beds dotted around there. We haven't done that just yet. Again, it's all decisions that we're kind of making over the next coming weeks weeks basically. But if I'm going to do anything with those, I want to get things, you know, I want to get them done sooner rather than later. So I think we'll definitely get that decided and maybe into action before I go back to work just over a week's time. So we'll see. Anyway, let's go and have a look what's been going on in the barn. So you obviously saw Stephen there. Oh, there's Rodney, he's coming with me. Best not leave him in the greenhouse to cook. You obviously saw Stephen getting very excited over the unit that a friend of ours was clearing for somebody, and then said, can you come and first of all give us a hand, and if there's anything that you want, you can take it. When Stephen got there, because obviously, you know, he was going to go and just help out, when he got there he was like, I can't believe how much stuff there is going in this unit. They literally just want rid of it. we can use it. So let me show you, we've changed again from what we did yesterday. So in the barn here, obviously you guys have seen this before if you've been here before, but if not, we've got 4 stables used for different things, 2 horses, we've got sheep in the 3rd one just at the moment, ducks in the 4th one, and then we've got goats, and the pens are here. We'll come to the other stuff, pens for the chickens, we'll come to the other stuff in a moment. But this here is the same size as the stable, so it's 12 by 12, and it's a room. In fact, it might be a little bit bigger, but regardless, it's a room that originally, when we were still riding and things, because the horses are retired now, we used more so as a tack room for all of the horses' tack, etc, etc. And it's still very much got a lot of the horses' stuff in there, but you can see, so there's the horses' rugs, etc now, but we've taken out this homemade, Stephen had made a workbench of pallets and wardrobes actually, which I showed earlier either in this video or yesterday's, can't quite remember. We've taken that out and replaced it with these freezers that we had, because we've also come across this huge, really sturdy plastic unit which can house all of our feed, anything else, you know, garden tools, all goodness knows what else in there, and that we think will be rat proof because it is so thick and so sturdy and it's easy to get into. I'll show you another time because at the moment with the thing still on top of it, but this lid here comes off and this section lifts out so you can lean in. You know, if you've got a smaller like me, Stephen can reach right to the back without necessarily taking that bit off, but for me, if I take that bit out, then I can lean in and get access to anything. There was also this huge cabinet here which has got in it all of the things that we had. Hang on, let me get that one open as well. All of the things that we had in the shelving that was on here. So all of that's now being tidied away. These freezers, if anybody doesn't know, we use the freezers to be rat proof or rodent proof, and then obviously they've just got animal feed in those. Chickens, horses, pigs, sheep, everything's in those. But also when we buy in bulk, we can store it in here because that's going to be rat proof as well. Well, it's quite difficult to hear over the animals, so let's go and have a look what's making most of the noise just out here. Perfect timing. Grace was just coming out with a bottle to feed. Look at these little 2 monsters. It is so nice to see because at first these guys had only been bottle fed literally once when we picked them up, so they can obviously see that they're thriving on the bottle there. So Grace will give both of them some of the milk. Obviously, I'll chip in a minute when I've finished with the video camera. But they're doing really well. One of them, the one that's doing the loop around Grace at the moment, has had a little bit of a sticky eye, so we're making sure that we just keep that nice and clean, and obviously if we need any help with that, we'll make sure that we get that, but at the moment we don't have any concerns. I don't think you'll find any milk there. Somebody's hungry. Well, we'll let Grace carry on with that and we'll check out how the other 2 additions are going on. To be fair, all these guys have done is sleep all day. They are so placid and chilled out, fast asleep next to each other. They've been going to the toilet, we've been keeping an eye on them, they've had plenty to drink. This was full, and you can see it's already quite low. They do dirty the water quite quickly, so we'll be making sure that just like all the other animals, they get that changed at least once a day. And we did feed them, and they've had a little bit of food too, just to settle in. So we essentially have just been leaving these guys now just to make sure that they feel comfortable and safe in the surroundings. There was a bit of a draft we noticed earlier, so we've made sure to bank up some of the straw, but of course they'll make their own beds. Whatever we do, they'll change. Rodney's guarding them. So the pigs will just fall into our usual feeding routine. So we'll come in on a morning, feed everything, make sure everything's got water still from the night before, because we do the waters on an evening so that we don't have to do them all on a morning. If anything's happened to them during the night, in terms of the water, not the animals, we'll top them up, get them clean, whatever we need to do. And then on an evening, we'll feed on an evening just the same, 2 meals a day for everybody. The pigs are going to be on a set amount of food per day. So we'll be making sure we weigh that out and get the correct amount. What will happen with these pigs is they will stay in this barn, well, essentially until the fields are okay enough for them to go out, dry enough for them to go out. Who knows when that's going to be at the minute, because obviously they are so wet still. So it's going to be interesting because these pigs will be a lot bigger than we normally move the pigs from the barn into the field. They're going to have a lot more size on them, we think, and normally Stephen carries them down. I don't think that's going to be an option this year, so we're going to try and get these pigs bucket trained so that they follow us. It's quite a distance to go from here in the barn down to where they will be in the field. So, you know, look out for that video because it might be quite an amusing one. But otherwise, they'll just fall into our routine. Everything else gets fed twice a day in the barn. Obviously these guys, the lambs that you can see, we've got these doors on just to stop any drafts going in for those with them being a lot younger. They obviously will get fed a lot more frequently than the 2 meals a day. So it might not be as pretty as some of the Pinterest perfect things that you see, but this is super functional. And given that all of this was free, it was just a bit of our labour, well, Stephen's labour and then our labour when he brought it home to help get it all set up. This is an absolutely fantastic find for us. So really pleased with that. There's the first problem. I didn't realise there was a little corner of the carpet. So the carpet that we've got in the barn is for our elderly horse. So our horse is a veteran in terms of, you know, she's not ridden anymore, as I said earlier, she's retired. But she's very old and she's a little bit unsteady on her feet. She gets a little bit nervous, all of these things. So we put carpet down because the floor in the barn can be quite slippy. It's like a smooth concrete. So that carpet is intended for the horse to walk on, but where Stephen has created the pig pen, it's gone ever so slightly across the corner of said carpet. So we're going to have to get that cut off, I think, because we don't want the pigs ingesting any of that. So that's the point. When we get them, it's just kind of supervising, observing, making sure that they're safe in the surroundings and that there's nothing that we've missed. Obviously that carpet is underneath their bedding, but they'll root out anything like that, so we'll get that done straight away. I've just given them fresh water and fed them for the evening. I've weighed out the food, how much they need now, and I've already finished the food. I didn't get a chance to get that on video, but they're enjoying the fresh water, and I'm just kind of hanging around now that they're waking up, making sure that they're used to our company, stroking them where we can. They're very nervous still at the moment, haven't been handled that much. So we'll just keep doing that every day, because obviously that's going to be a big thing for us, to make sure that they respect us, and essentially, you know, if we ask them to move over, that they do. They'll get really large animals by the, you know, once they're fully grown. So we need to make sure that we've got some sense of control, because after all, we've got no control over anything else here. Well, it's a few days later and I didn't want to close the video out without giving you a really quick update and saying goodbye. The pigs are absolutely thriving. They've found the toilet area, they've got the water area, the feed, they've made their own banks up in the corner like we said they would. They are doing really well, and the little lambs are also settling in fantastically, both taking the milk very well. So a good start to the livestock year for definite. We're in the middle of a storm here at the moment. It's mostly wind for us. I know some people have got the wind and the rain, but yeah, it's relentless. So I'm going to go about my business for the day, and I will catch up with you in another video very soon.